Norachit Sinhaseni, you are a spokesperson of the Constitution Drafting Committee in Thailand. Now, the Constitution is being drafted. It's going to be presented, as far as I understand, on the 7th of August. And the event today talked about building a sustainable democracy in Thailand. Do you feel this is possible?
Well, the Constitution itself is completed. We had 6 months to do it. From October to the 29th of March, it is done. It is being disseminated to the population. The 7th August that we're talking about is the referendum. The Thai people will be deciding whether they like this draft constitution or not and whether it's going to be adopted. The rules are simple. If the yes outnumber the no, regardless of voter turnout, it is adopted. If the no outnumber the yes, then this draft will be dropped. The government will be probably coming up with a new draft and promulgating it. No more referendums, and the elections that has been promised by the government should be on course for before the end of next year. Whether the sustainable democracy is possible, let me just say that this particular constitution has all the provisions to protect freedoms and rights of the Thai people. On the political side, it maintains that the people will be electing their representative. The party that wins a majority will form a government, no difference there. What we have tried to do is to have options and avenues available so that it cannot go back to the time of the past where you had to hold on to power at all costs. We are encouraging compromise. We're encouraging avenues where the various parties can get together, and it will only work if they utilize it. If people continue to seek power and retain power, regardless of what's happening in the country, where you had demonstrations, where you had people using war weapons against one another, that is not where we want to go back to.
Kitti Wasinondh, you are a member of the Thailand Legislative Assembly. Today's event was talking about building a sustainable democracy in Thailand. How likely do you think this is?
Well, it's promising. We are optimistic. Of course, we have passed a very bad period 2 or 3 years ago when the corruption, populist policy, are common, and we have been trying very hard to bring together so-called good governance, and we believe that we will, during this time, during the period that we try to build up again a sustainable democracy, we can be successful. On my part, the Parliament, we have passed 178 laws, and those are very good. Some are left over from the past governments, but some have been introduced by the government, so as that we have a stronger legal system in Thailand. We have passed a lot of good laws on and counter corruption, counter money laundering, counter human trafficking, IUU fisheries, and so on and so forth. We have done a lot to make sure that we will have a good foundation for the future. Of course, the draft constitution, which is waiting for the referendum on the 8th of August, is something that we expect that it will lay down a good rules for the future. The constitution itself introduced a better balance of power, a better way to select people to come into power, and of course to make sure that we will have good people in place, right people in place, and work for the country rather than their own benefit or their cronies.